Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into two of the most fundamental data structures in Python, lists and tuples. By the end of this video, you'll know how lists and tuples work in Python, how to use indexing and slicing to access elements, the most useful list methods you'll need every day, and the key difference between lists and tuples, mutability versus immutability. This is going to be your one-stop guide, so make sure to stick around until the end. In Python, a list is an ordered collection that can hold multiple items. Think of it as a container that can store numbers, strings, or even other lists. We create a list using square brackets like this. Let's say the name is going to be my underscore list, and we'll set it equal to 10, 20, 30, the string Python, and the Boolean value of true. We can print a list out and take a look at its contents like this. We just use the print function and pass in the name of the list. As you can see here, the contents match what we set them to be. On the other hand, a tuple looks almost the same, but it uses parentheses instead of square brackets. Here's a tuple. We'll name it my underscore tuple and give it the same values we gave the list, except we use parentheses this time. And we can print it out the same way we print out a list, by passing the name of it into the print function like this. So it's just print, then my underscore, my underscore tuple inside the parentheses there. Both are ordered collections, meaning items keep the order you put them in, but there's one big difference, which we'll talk about later. Lists can change and tuples cannot. Lists and tuples support indexing, which means you can grab elements by their position. Remember, Python uses zero-based indexing, which means we start counting from 0. So if we have a list, my list, with values of A, B, C, D, and E, like this, we can print out specific values from that list using their indexes. So print my list at 0 is the first element. Print my list at 2 is the third element. And print my list at 4 is the last element. Also, you can also reference them using negative numbers. So print my list at -1 would be the last element, and you can access any of them using negative numbers if you want to. You can also use slicing to grab a range of elements. Slicing just means that you take a list or a tuple and you cut it, so you end up with the value starting with and ending with whatever index numbers you choose. If we do print my list and we slice from index 1 to index 4, like this, then we would end up with the values B, C, and D. If we do print my list and we slice from the start to index 3, then we end up with A, B, and C. I'll show you that in the terminal here actually. Yeah, so for the last one we got B, C, and D, which was print my list from index 1 to index 4, but now we're doing from the start to index 3, that gives us A, B, and C. And then also if we do print my list and we slice from index 2 until the end, then we'll get C, D, and E. And you can see that here. We get all the way at the bottom C, D, and E. This works the exact same way for tuples. So here's the key difference between lists and tuples. Lists are mutable and tuples are immutable. Mutable means you can change the contents. For example, if we do my list and we make it equal 1, 2, and 3, and then do my list at index 0 equals 100, then if we do print my list, it will equal the numbers 100, 2, and 3. So you can see that in the terminal here, it equals 100, 2, and 3. But tuples are immutable or immutable. So if you try to change them, you'll get an error. So let's make a tuple and we'll make it equal to 1, 2, and 3. And now let's try to change it. So we'll do my tuple at index 0 equals 100. And if we try to run that code, we'll get an error that says tuple object does not support item assignment. And you could actually see the error here. So this is super important for when you want data that should never change. Tuples give you that guarantee. Okay, lists come with a bunch of powerful methods. Let's look at the most common ones. Let's make a list. We'll call it numbers and give it the values of 1, 2, and 3. To add elements to the list, we have 3 options: append, extend, and insert. Append is written like this. just like numbers.append and whatever number in this example we're using 4, and it just adds the number to the end of the list. Extend is written like this, and it adds multiple numbers to the end of the list. Insert is written like this, and it adds the second number we put into the insert method to the list at the index of the first number we put into the insert method. So if we do numbers.insert 1, 100, then we add 100 to the list at the index of 1. I'll print it out so you can see it. Here it is in the terminal. We have added the number 100 to the list at the index of 1. To remove elements from the list, we have 2 options. You can do a list name dot remove a specific number like this, or you can do the list name dot pop followed by parentheses, and that just removes the last item in the list. It's typed like this. To search and count elements in a list, here's how to do it. You can do print list name dot index and some value. This will print out the index of whatever value you pass in. So for example, if I do print numbers dot index of 100, it will find the index of 100. You can also do print list name dot count and some value. This will count all the occurrences of that value. So for example, if I do print numbers dot count of 2, it will count the occurrences of 2. For sorting and reversing a list, it's simple. Just do list name dot sort followed by parentheses to sort it like this. This sorts it and arranges elements in ascending order by default. That means numbers from smallest to largest and strings in alphabetical order. Do list name dot reverse followed by parentheses to reverse it like this. And that's it for list methods. Now tuples, on the other hand, have very few methods. Basically just count and index because they're immutable. So let's say we had a tuple, and then we did, and let's say the tuple's name was my underscore tuple, and then we did my underscore tuple dot count of x, then that would return the number of times x appears in the tuple. And if we use index on the tuple, like my underscore tuple dot index of whatever value, let's say we use, like y for example, then it would find the position of the first first occurrence of that value, or for this example, would find the position of the first occurrence of y. Okay, so when should you use a list and when should you use a tuple? Use a list when you need a collection that might change, like a shopping cart or a to-do list. Use tuples when you want a fixed collection of values like coordinates, like x comma y or days of the week. Tuples can also be slightly faster, and because they're immutable, they're safer to use as dictionary keys or in sets. Okay, let's recap. Both lists and tuples are ordered collections. Lists use square brackets and are mutable, meaning you can change them. Tuples use parentheses and are immutable, meaning you cannot change them. Lists come with tons of methods, while tuples are simpler. Indexing and slicing work the same for both. Mastering these two data structures will make your Python journey a lot smoother. If you found this helpful, give the video a like. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you're serious about leveling up your Python skills. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.